And welcome to a brand new episode of the 60-Second Car. We are now diving in. Because we're not diving into anything. We're driving into a minute 38. My name is Daniel. I'm joined by my co-host, as always, Daniel. Did I call myself Daniel on that one? I don't remember.
I don't know. You called me Dan 2 episodes ago.
I did. My brain, man. It's diesel time.
60-second
And welcome back to minute 38. Hi, Daniel. How are you? How was everything?
I'm doing 30 great. Doing well.
Okay. All right.
What's up?
We're done. Can we end this?
All right.
Can we
All right, cool.
this?
Danotage.tv/60-second car. Family.
They're 30 great.
Look, I'm in a new age bracket now, okay? I can make these jokes. I think it's required of me, whether I have a kid or not.
I think the last time, it was after the last time we recorded, and between then and now, it was your birthday.
It was.
Was like Outside Lands like your birthday thing?
It usually winds up being my birthday thing, but Beck played Conquer the day after, and Beck's my main squeeze, so we went to that and had a great time.
Heck yeah.
But I did a quick survey about something, and then the age thing came up, and it was like 20 to 34 or something, and then 35 to whatever, and I went, oh no.
35 to death.
I'm no longer a key demographic, so don't try and sell me things anymore, Meta or whoever.
Stop dropping ads. No more ads for Daniel.
I just want homeowner insurance and AARP coupons. What is that?
Wait, what would these coupons be for AARP? That's what I want to know.
Caskets.
You get a discount on a Cricket phone. 20% discount on your first Cricket phone. You know you're gonna need one soon.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
I have seen. I did have a moment. So, as we all know, I'm a corporate drone now, and I have a new computer, and I'm messing with all the settings and stuff like that, and I found myself a couple times squinting at the normal font.
Did you make the font bigger? Are you one of those people on your phone where you can read it from a mile
away? I didn't do it.
You restrained yourself.
I restrained myself, but I did squint a couple times at the very high resolution, decently sized screen, normal font. And I was like, the options are there. Do I make it? There's like 3 other options, but I didn't do it. But it does remind me of like almost every time I sit in a plane. I am sat next to somebody who's, 60s-ish, 60s, 70s-ish. And I mean, I don't know if anybody else does this. I don't know if you do this. When they're on their phone, sometimes I glance. It's not my business, but I glance. And I see them texting, probably whoever's gonna pick them up at the airport. Their font is huge. It's like I can read that from back in the back of the plane. And
one time go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that's what my brain immediately went to when I noticed myself squinting.
So one of the weird things that happened with us, we went to a show and we were seeing Flogging Molly, who play like Irish punk stuff, and right in front of us at the show there was this group of people, and one of the guys got in a fight with security, and they started taking him out, and they took him in the back, and it turns out they have a little holding cell in the back of the Fox in Oakland, because he was texting the girl that he was with. They were considering pressing charges and looking on cameras. The only reason we know this is because her font on her phone was massive, and she was had her phone up full lit in the middle of the show, and Katie just started reading her text. She's like, well, she's gonna be rude during the band and do that. I'm just gonna see what she's up to. And so my mind just went to that person. But I see it at shows all the time, and when I'm on, you said, when you glance at people's phones on planes, I think when we were flying to or from Portugal earlier this year, my neighbor on the plane pulled out her phone, had an iPhone, and was just on some app, and I was like, "What app is that?" Like, I don't have a lot of apps on my phone, but part of me is
Sure.
just like, "What's that app do?" But I, of course, not going to talk to a stranger to find out. But
Why not? Little
I
kids
just-
do it all the time. You got any games on your phone?
and I have to be like, I have solitaire.
Wait, do you actually
Which-
have solitaire?
Hell yeah!
All right, cool.
I have the New York Times crossword mini. I have solitaire, and I have
Do you have
two
Wordle?
games I don't open. I don't have the app, but I just go to the browser for that.
Sure.
What do I have? Solitaire, Duolingo, the Never Not Funny, like $25,000 pyramid game, and a game called
Wait,
Two
they-
Dots, which I don't open.
Wait, hold on. Never Not Funny has a pyramid game app.
Yeah, they basically on their show started ripping off, or one of their fans made them a version of like, it's called Sevens, and you have 7 seconds to get a clue. Hell, we could just do it now. All right, Never Not Funny Sevens. We're gonna play a quick round. I'm gonna give you some
Is that
categories.
your number one podcast?
Oh yeah, I mean it's my number one, but also it was the first one I listened to. So like,
Yeah.
should it be my number one? It just is because it was the first one.
Weirdly, I've been re-listening to my first major podcast that I was re-listening to for a long time. It's kind of what shaped my comedy for a long time too. I've been re-listening to all the best ofs of Comedy Bang Bang.
Yeah, those are great.
I've listened to Bob Duca list off all his ailments, and God, I laughed my ass off again. It's so good.
Sorry, I'm gonna give you some categories.
Yes.
I'm about to list a lot of things. We've got movies, TV shows, celebrities, music, sports, Broadway, food, animals, 70s music, 80s music, 90s music, 2000s music, stand-up, superheroes, music, hip-hop, horror movies, action, comedy, rom-com, award winners, football, baseball, basketball, hockey, and stuff I'm not going to give you because they're very show-specific. Any of those pique your interest?
Stand up.
Okay, this is not going to go well.
Okay.
So,
Wanna do
we're gonna have
90s
7
music?
That's starting. We're going to have 7
All right.
seconds for each category, and I'm going
Got
to
it.
try and get you to guess what's on the answer. All right, here we go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Oh, he goes by Fluffy.
Oh, Gabriel Iglesias.
Got it. She is blonde and millennial, I think is her whole deal.
Oh,
Next one. Okay, he
yeah.
had his own show. He was on. I'm failing
Nick
on this. I'm sorry. No. Okay, next one. He also had his own sitcom. He was in Bad Boys, not Will Smith, the other guy.
Martin.
Too late. Too late. Yes.
ah!
She's a guest. Never Not Funny. That's the only reason I know her name. She has a podcast with somebody else. We're not going to get it.
Lauren Lapkus?
No. This is new category. He has a bit about opening cards. He was in. Okay. Stand-up comic. He's very funny. He wears a cowboy hat, and that's all I know about him.
Oh.
All right. So we only got one of those. That's how you play the game.
Okay.
So
We
the
did
answer
get
Gabriel.
one of them.
We got Gabriel Iglesias with 4 seconds left.
Yeah.
We did not get Eliza Schlesinger, who is
Okay. I was gonna get
we
somebody
got-
else, but yeah.
So the third one was said he had his own show. The show was called Dag. He was on In Living Color, which I
Oh,
couldn't pull.
he's
David
Dag.
Unger. Yeah, but I didn't want to say Dag.
I
'Cause
know.
that
I'm
would-
just for some reason I thought it was Martin.
No, but the next one was Martin Lawrence, which we did not get in time.
Martin Lawrence. Okay, so that was him. Okay, never mind. Okay,
Yes.
got it.
Then Jackie Cation, stand-up comedian. She has a show called Jackie and Laura Show, but I couldn't pull
She
Laura.
also has the Dork Forest podcast,
That's
which is
it.
very good. Yeah.
Then I couldn't pull anything about this guy in time. Kevin James, still can't.
Oh.
I remember he has a bit where you look at the greeting card and then he puts it back because it's too expensive. That's all I remember.
I was gonna say Bill Engvall or the other blue collar comedy guy,
Ron White.
Ron White, because you said cowboy hat.
Oh, that was the last guy who I know him as he's a funny stand-up comic. Jasper Red.
I don't.
That's-
I think I've seen him once, but I wouldn't have never got him. Interesting. Okay. That's a good. 7 seconds is short.
Yeah, and plus it's pressure because then I have to think of something that I think you're gonna
Yeah.
get. And
Yeah.
it's a fun game though.
Interesting.
I like it. Anyway,
Yeah.
fan made them that because they started doing it on the show, and now it's their own thing. Anyway,
Are they good at it?
Jimmy's usually giving clues, and it really depends on the category. They usually go 80s music, and that's his wheelhouse. But
Yeah.
if they go 90s, it's Matt, but it can be iffy.
Interesting. Okay. Well, that, I mean, we're fully into the 2000s with the Fast and the Furious. We're now,
Bam.
but like, I do feel like all the decor here is very 70s. It's like 70s, 80s, even down to like, maybe not his glasses. I don't know, his how he's dressed. Sergeant Tanner is who we open up with. And I do believe this is right. I think this might be right after the what do the drivers say from Mr. Brian?
Yeah, something about the truckers taking this into their own hands, which sounds like it'd be kind of a cool movie, which we get a glimpse of at the end of this one. Yeah, but like a full-on just like warrior style, just face off with like big trucks v other things, and like it's a fair fight. That could be cool.
Yeah. I think this is where he's like, if we don't get this under wraps soon, truckers are gonna start taking it in their own hands. And so, like, I guess, yeah, they mention it gets political, and then that's why you're undercover, I think is what he talks about. And I'm like, is going undercover like a last ditch effort? Is that like, it feels like they're desperate right now, and that's why they have somebody undercover. But I'm like, this doesn't feel like that dangerous of a thing to have somebody undercover. Why didn't they do this earlier?
Also, like, they're so worried about what the truckers are going to do. What are the truckers going to do? Is there like a trucker union where they all got like a memo that's just like, hey, hold off if you're getting robbed. Like, don't actively like run them over or like slam on your brakes, like everything I was talking about in episode 2 or whatever.
I think it has something to do with the fact that, so I guess they don't want like manslaughters on their hands or deaths via self-defense and stuff like that. They don't, it's one of those, it kind of in the FBI's interest to keep people from shooting each other, right? So I think that's what they're getting at, but I think you have to kind of assume a lot of this watching this movie. Because yeah, when you're watching, you kind of think like what you just said, which is, why is that a problem? Shouldn't they be defending themselves anyway? Because the implication is that they're just like, no, I guess my truck's getting stolen. Okay, take it. Bye. Because like that's what they want.
I'll write down all their like names or whatnot for when they eventually tase me and leave me in a ditch somewhere. Take my truck. See.
They do trank them.
Yeah.
Like so. Like what? Do they just? That is actually an interesting, different crime that they may or may not be committing. What do they do with the tranked guy? I guess they might. Well, no, they don't leave him in the truck and take the trailer. They probably take the whole thing. So they just have him in the car sleeping. Maybe it's a strong enough trank to where they unload everything before he wakes up. I don't know.
Yeah. Do they have more people in their crew that unload the truck? Because even like. That would take a while. Like, that guy's had to be out for a long time.
I also think that's where Hector comes in. I think they go and they unload the truck at wherever Hector's dealing with stuff. And then, oh, I did mean to mention this, and maybe I waited for this episode for a reason I don't remember. But oh, no. So I could jump ahead a tiny bit. I'm not going to jump too far ahead. But because of this, as they're walking out, Sergeant Tanner asks Brian, how is Harry dealing with all this? And Brian reveals that like the reason that Harry's even working with them is because he cut a deal to not go to prison for selling a bunch of stolen goods.
There we go.
And we know that like obviously Dom has a pretty good relationship with Harry. But we also see Hector show up at the store eventually too, and I do feel like there's something there where Hector may unload everything, and then probably give that like one of the places he distributes to probably was Harry for a long time.
Yeah, they're saying he's trying to avoid getting 3 to 5 for selling stolen property. They just do a full-on sentence to explain Harry's deal. It's tell not show. Good on them.
Yeah, tell not show. Which, works in aspects like this for sure. But sorry, we're gonna jump right back to where we were, which is where our illustrious, lovely Special Agent Bilkins is finally having like real lines and stuff like that, and I think he asked Brian like, "So where are you? Where are we with this? What's going on?" He wants an update. Normal meeting stuff.
And this is what you love meetings. And this is when I really was thinking that Brian's going full cop here. But before we dive into this exchange a bit, Agent Bilkins I love this dude actually. Like he's a hard ass in this one. Like you said, in Too Fast, he's pretty chill, but like played by Tom Barry. This is his 11th film role. He is known for, I don't know if he's actually known for these, but he was in the movie Steel, the Shaq movie. He was in Apollo 13. He was do some TV roles before I get my favorite role of his. He played Will in Cold Case for 1 million episodes, which is not a show I know existed. He was in the Soup Nazi episode of Seinfeld. He plays a building superintendent. I just saw it before we came on.
Oh, interesting. Okay, that semi rings a bell.
And then the big one for me, he was in Space Jam playing Michael Jordan's father.
Wait, really?
Yep.
I didn't know that. That's funny.
Fucking love Space Jam. Yeah, he's in a brief scene where he's just like kind of giving me like a little coach stuff and yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Anyway, he has since retired from acting.
That makes sense. He's he's got to be somewhat up there in this movie, right?
He was 51 at this one, so do some math, 70s?
Yeah, all right. I'm looking up the movie Air because there's another actor that no, just Air. Michael Jordan movie, kind of. It's about his shoe. Julius Tenen, who plays Michael Jordan's father in that movie.
Do they go into the murder in that one? They don't in Space Jam for some weird reason.
They do.
Oh.
They do go into that because they talk about it at the end of the movie. Basically, all the whatever they show off what happens after the story that happens in Air. Because the movie Air is all about Nike, who happens to be a smaller sports shoe company at the time because they only focused in tennis. Written by both Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. They're both in it as well. They essentially it's about Nike acquiring Jordan, who Jordan didn't want to go with Nike. He wanted Adidas. They were the big guys. And the main dude, Jason Bateman, actually played a lot of, I guess the main dude is Matt Damon and Jason Bateman, but they do a lot of crazy stuff and they get it sold, whatever. But at the end of the movie, Chris Tucker's also in it and he's very good in it. At the end of the movie, they just have like a pretty long shot on Viola Davis, who plays Michael's mom, and they talk about like everything that happens after he makes tons of money, because she apparently is the one that brokered all the deals and stuff like that. She was like the first person to ask, hey, I need a percentage of every shoe sold from Jordan's or whatever it is. And that was like huge because nobody had ever done that before. So what they talked about is like around that time, his father was killed, and she started a foundation in his name, and all the money, like a ton of money that they made from the shoes, was going towards that foundation and helped a bunch of people. And so they did a really cool thing near at the end of that.
Yeah, but do they show like how the ball worked, where it sucks in their powers and they drink the water that's just water and stuff to get their...
That might be in the newspaper articles and the sides that they cover at the end of that too.
It's really weird how they always just push the events of Space Jam to the side, like it didn't matter.
I mean, like, really, come on and jam, you know?
If you want to, welcome to the jam. Come on and slam. Hey, yo, what you gonna do? Hey, yo, what you gonna do? Hey, fellas.
Party people in the house. Let's jam. We can do the whole song. Let's do it.
Well, everybody get up. It's time to slam now. We've got a real jam going on. Welcome to
Yes.
Space Jam. Space Jam. It's your chance, dude. It's Space Jam. All right. Speaking of all right, there's a pretty all right joke here about Time Magazine I thought was fun.
Right. Yes.
It's a cornball joke.
Because Brian says, I need some time.
Time Magazine. Good stuff. Yeah. Can't recall the rest of it. I just wrote a Time Magazine joke. Good.
Oh, I thought you had it. Okay. I thought I was trying to set you up.
For some reason, I didn't write it down.
So weirdly, Brian jumps up and stands up, and he's like, I need some time. And then it cuts back to Agent Bilkins like, you want time? Get a magazine.
That's it. Good
We
stuff.
don't have time. And yeah, he's so this is actually where, again, I see the sort of conflict of is, Dom's, or he says something along the lines of like, Dom is starting to trust me. Once I get his trust, I need some time to get his trust. And then he's cut off by Bilkins, and he mentions that if you want time, get a magazine. And so he's kind of like, he's doing his job, but like, I feel he's also just trying to buy time to maybe because like he wants to do his job at this point, it seems, but he also is just like, I need to be sure, because, and I don't think it's for his job's sake. I think it's quite literally so that he doesn't put Dom away. He doesn't, because he likes him now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he doesn't want to do anything to him. And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's my bias. It very much could be my bias, because I feel like the alternative, if he was trying to be a cop, he'd just be like, yeah, we'll just get him. We'll just book him. Whatever. It's not him, but I'm just going to book him anyway.
Well, like, I don't know if he knows this, but like in this minute, they also like with that in mind, what you're just saying about him liking Dom and wanting to be sure. They also mentioned Dom went to jail for almost beating a guy to death.
Yes. That's the first time we hear about that, right?
Yeah, it is. So like, I don't know if that's him finding it out or if that's something he knew going in, but like, I don't have a lot of friends that are attempted murderers.
Yeah.
Does he know why? We don't find out why for 8 movies.
No, he mentions it here. He mentioned the next time we see them, we see the cops. He does talk about it because the next time we see him, Sergeant Tanner asks Brian, because he's seeing him flip, right? Sergeant Tanner is seeing him flip at this point. I think we kind of see it here, but maybe it's biased because we already know what's happening. But the next time we see them together, he goes, have you read Dom's file? And then Brian's like, I memorized it. And then Tanner's like, well, read it again. Because he took a socket wrench and almost beat a man, or he just kept swinging and kept swinging. He put the guy in the hospital forever, and that's why he went to jail and stuff like that. So like, we do reveal why it happened, or what happened, but not why it happened. That's when we see
That's what I mean.
Oh, okay. That's what, 9? Is that 9? So yeah, 8 more movies?
because that's got Yum done. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got 8 more movies. Okay, so like, I don't think, but I guess so the scene I'm talking about kind of shows that I don't think he cares.
Maybe.
And
Yeah,
I think
that sounds
that
right.
he knows the file at this point too. And now that he's met Dom, he really just like, he doesn't care. He's like, I think he really believes that it must be for a different reason. Who knows? It could be totally selfish too. He just wants to be in the racing scene. So he doesn't care if like this guy's going to beat him to death. He seems pretty reckless. I think they show Brian in many cases where he's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna go do it. So it makes sense for his character. And yeah, and then we're out to talking about Harry. And yeah, and then here, he also is asking Harry, he's like, what does Harry say about Dom and everything? He says he's too, and this is the thing too. I think Brian wants to believe what Harry's about to say, or what Harry said, what he's about to reveal he said. He says, he doesn't think it's Dom. He's too controlled for that or something like that. And then that's when Tanner stops Brian, is like, and I think he says basically what you did. I don't know if any of my friends, or what you just said, I don't know if any of my friends have attempted murder. Because he's like, he beat a man half to death. I don't think that's a collected man, right?
Right.
And that may be partially true, but we don't know what happened. Again, that's very stereotyping, right? So
Sure. And we find out in 20 years it was for family is why. So, oh, okay. I wonder if someone along the way is like, hey, should we explain that,
God,
or just live with that air around him for 20 years?
They don't explain it for 20 years. That's true. Jesus. That's crazy. They could have done that in any of the movies.
I also think they don't really talk about it again.
Probably not. I think they probably made it up to introduce Jacob, right?
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. But is this where is that line I sent you? That screenshot I thought was just really funny. Because when I watch these with the closed captioning on just so I get some of the quotes right. And even still, no, I don't. But I think about Dom, he says he's got nitrous oxide in his blood and a gas tank for a brain, which is very weird and funny.
I think it's immediately after this. I think we lead into that in the next minute. But it's still hilarious. Now that I'm scrolling back in our texts, can we talk about the Fast and the Fierce?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have been meaning to find a dead spot to do another one of my movie bits.
Can we do that now? Because we're at the end of the minute.
So without naming the streamer, I was streaming these on a specific service, and they're not there anymore. So when I searched for it to confirm that, I came across a film called The Fast and the Fierce that came out in 2018. This stars, of course, Adrian Paul, Dominique Swain, and Masoon Ali Khan. I don't know any of those names. But the plot is when terrorists plant a bomb on a commercial flight, the passengers must fight to keep the plane in the air and everyone alive. If they let the plane dip below 800 feet, the bomb will go off and kill everyone.
What?
So this...
It's
right,
speed.
Right. Yeah, so when I searched for this film, there's also people also ask on Google that says, is the Fast and the Furious and the Furious is the question. Is the Fast and the Fierce and the Furious? And the answer is, did you know the film's title is a ripoff of The Fast and the Furious, while the plot is obviously a ripoff of another film, Speed. So the art is the font and everything, but then the story is just speed on a plane, but it's height based, so it's heights. Anyway, then I went up on it.
You can use my homework. You can cheat off me. Just don't make it sound
yeah,
like
exactly.
you cheated.
Off two different people. He's like, "What do you get for that one? What do you get for that one?" All right, well, I guess let's go combine them.
If I combine them, they won't know I cheated.
So this actually brought me to a list of other films that I'm gonna talk about for future episodes that are like Fast and Furious ripoffs, and Kid Rock shows up in one. So there's a tease for you.
Oh no. I wanted to. Can I talk about the screen that you sent me?
Yeah.
Is the title "The Fast and the Fierce," and right behind it, in the background of it, it just says "a terrorist."
Yep. Which is funny because I don't. Yeah, the line next to that is "When Tit must fight." Yeah, so it kind of discusses the plot of it, but I'm not sure why it just says "a terrorist" in gigantic font behind the title. But it's only an hour 26 minutes, so if you can Google it and find it yourself and let us know how it is.
Sure.
It has a 40% as people like this movie on Google users.
40%. All right. It even they even used like the font.
Yeah.
It's not the same font, but it's pretty much the same font. It's trade dress problems. I love that the text also started with two things.
Yeah, it was very important. I was watching it, and I was like, "Why isn't it on here?" Oh, Fast and Furious is though. Should I watch this?
Fast and Fierce. It sounds like a porn parody.
Oh no! Well, I'll add those to the list.
I'm sure there are plenty of them. But the next question I want to ask is, how many kids born around 2001, 2002 have the name? Well, I guess it kind of goes off, so maybe not, but Dominic Paul. Dominic Paul, last name. I feel like that is a name that fits and is normal, but it has Dominic Toretto and Paul Walker as attached because their parents are super fans.
Is this like the what are those nonsense names from Game of Thrones? My mom used to work as a nurse at a gynecologist and met
Joffrey.
a lot of pregnant women that were wanting to name their kids after that stuff.
Daenerys.
Yeah. She's like, "What is that?" And Katie and I were like, "Oh no."
Call Drogo. Oh man. There's a lot of that. And go back to Comedy Bang Bang, an episode I just listened to was Obi, what was it? Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah.
And he had no idea. He hated Star Wars. His character is just, I hate Star Wars.
Wasn't the premise of that that's Paul F. Tompkins, right?
Yes.
He just came up with a name and then just went for it.
Pretty much, yeah. He's got this. He has a little bit of a speech problem. So like, some things are misunderstood by Scott, and yeah, he talks about how much he loves nature, and the sun and the moon and rocks, and hates pop culture. Just absolutely hates pop culture. So yeah, he has no idea who Obi-Wan Kenobi is. He hates Star Wars. He just doesn't want anything to do with it. It's a good episode. And I believe it has She-Hulk in it. Yeah. What's that?
A podcast that doesn't exist because there's no other podcast other than this one.
Oh, I should have prefaced. I'm making these podcasts up in my head. These are ideas that people can use if they want to make their own podcast.
Yeah. But it can't be more successful than this one. That's
no, absolutely not.
No.
It can't exist. If you make the podcast, it will thus disappear as soon as you upload it. Just so you know.
We're the one.
We're the one. But yeah, this has been minute 38 of the Fast and the Furious. We are now. Funnily enough, it's only taken a few minutes of us meeting the cops, and now we're gonna go back to no more cop stuff. And I guess the next minute is a little bit more, but anyway, minute 38 with some interesting information, some character information, some cool stuff. But yeah, that's minute 38. So if you've enjoyed this, make sure you go to danotage.tv/60secondcar and check out all of our links and go to our link tree and follow us on all this stuff. Make sure if you want to listen on your favorite podcasting app, you go look for it there. And you can go to YouTube and watch the video version where I'm speaking to you now. Give it a like, give it a comment, give us a family. And
family. That was the official one.
Yeah, not the yeah.
Hey.
With that,
Now you talk.
I'll see you next time.
Family.